One of my friends. In this video, I am going to explain how you can manifest a new reality. And by this, I mean you can bring one of your goals into fruition using just your imagination and your powerful emotions. Now, if you have come to this channel via one of my dancing videos or dancing with a dog videos, just know that I shoot those purely to subvert or disrupt the usual pattern of my own thinking, but also by energizing you with something funny. I know that behind that there's a serious message. And these longer videos not only have a serious message, but they actually encourage you to disrupt your own thinking. So with that, I'm going to explain there are 5 steps to this process of disruption. And what you have to, the first thing I want you just to imagine is that your imagination is 90% of your mind, and it's in the right hemisphere of your brain, and your logic is in the left hemisphere, and it's the rational part. And you use your whole mind to do this, but most people just rely on their rational conscious brain, and they do not give their imagination enough credit for how you actually shift from one state where you are now and where your consciousness is fused, where your whole mind is fused, to another. It's really easy to think about this. Like if you think about how you were 10 years ago and what you were thinking about at that phase of your life, it's the same as this, except that if you were wanting to do something big, if you were wanting to smash out a big goal, and you try and think about it, and you try and come up with all the strategies, that is not the same as using your imagination and your consciousness. You basically have to ignore your rational mind, you have to ignore your senses and what's showing up for you now, and say, just pure imagination, I'm going to flow into this new reality. And once you think about it heavily enough, and once with your imagination and with those powerful emotions, just those two things, once you do this for long enough, you will find that suddenly the signs show up that actually confirm to you that you've shifted your consciousness, and the world around you, or the way you see the world, will also shift. Okay, so that's a very theoretical explanation, but I'm really going to delve into the practicalities in this. So what I always say when we're starting out is we are a universe, and the first universal law is that we have free will. So you have to really realize that in terms of your choices. And your world as it is today is a product of the choices that you've made and the emotions and the imagination that you've stuck around it. So what is here now is fused with your consciousness, all of those things. So the first step, if you want to do something different, if you want something different in your life, particularly if it's big, you have to be very clear on your desire. So choose a positive goal. And by positive, it's really hard for people to understand what a positive goal is. So I'm going to give you an example. If I want to get in shape, I do not lose weight. I get fitter, healthier, more sleek, more toned, more muscly, more strong, more supple, more vital. Those are positive goals. Or even a goal weight, whatever that is. Those are positive goals. Losing weight keeps you in the losing weight consciousness. So a positive goal. So get really clear on that. Now, think about what it means to you to be successful in your goals. So if you are going to be supple and vital and 55 kilos, as opposed to 75 or 65 or 85, how does this feel when you are successful? I bet it feels amazing. I bet it feels empowering. I bet you feel vital, powerful, clever, happy, in love with your shape, all of those. So bring in those real visceral, elevated emotions, the happiness, the joy, gratitude that you actually pulled off a massive goal. So cement that there. Cement in those elevated feelings, those elevated emotions when you are successful in that goal. So that's step 1. The second step requires some dreaming whilst awake, and dreaming whilst awake is meditation. It means really slowing down your mind to get into your imaginative mind and to really build that part of your subconscious, which is 90%. And if you don't know it, just a little fact here, your subconscious mind runs all your current body programs. So all of the processes of breathing and digestion and regulation of sleep and production of brain chemicals, all of that is governed by your subconscious mind. Because if you had to think about it, your poor brain would explode. So commit to using your imagination, commit to using your slow brain waves. Just use the phase theta. Think theta. Theta delta is good, but theta brainwaves are the brainwaves you had when you were 0 to 7 years, when all of your unconscious patterns were formed. And it's those brainwaves that we're going to hack. That you hack them when you get into deep meditation. And by deep meditation, this is you doing the work, not listening to anyone else. There's junk food meditation, guided meditation, also self-hypnosis. But you are not going to do that. You are doing this work. You are doing it. Meditation is so important, particularly deep theta meditation, because literally as soon as you close your little eyes, you drown out so much of your physical senses, because everything comes through our eyes, that you literally come into your imagination. And you can actually construct a world which is a bit like a dream, but it's much more conscious, because you're actually fusing in your mind this new reality, which will then attract the external validation of what it is that you're building. And it's very hard to explain that because you can't think about it. And I think the only way that I teach this to people is that if you think about any pop song or any hit movie, like there's no rationality between something that goes viral, like i.e. Gangnam Style, and another song. Like it just is, if it appeals to our emotional selves, our imaginative selves, it makes us laugh or makes us feel good or whatever, it will just go boom. So the same thing happens for you if you regularly stay in this state. So what we're going to do when we're meditating is closing our eyes, being alone with our own desires, being alone with the physical, the elevated physical sensory picture that we're painting with our eyes closed, and how we feel about our desire. And that's all we do. It's not hard. It's just as long as it's just you. Don't listen to those meditations. You don't need binaural beats. You don't need any guru, replaying this for you. You can do this work, and you'll be highly successful in this work if you decide to regularly do this meditation to drown out the faster moving brainwaves. Okay, so that's step 2. Step 3 is, this is what you're going to imagination. So you've got your desire, you've got the feelings that go with the success of your desire. Now I want you to think about an event after you were successful that makes your goal a success. So if that is getting down to a goal weight that really makes you feel smoking hot, or if that is attracting a partner who you're as your soulmate and your dream mate and you've been waiting a long time, I'm not, what is the event? I'll probably, with that example, it's probably not a good example because, we can all guess what that event's going to be. But whatever it is, you've got to think of the event right after you become successful. So it's not, this is so important with how manifesting works. Like you are not looking at something. It exists now. As soon as you desire it, there is a reality. And it doesn't matter how crazy it is, if it's being a billionaire, if it's having a harem of really attractive soulmates, it does not matter, because tell me one human being that has, or one desire that hasn't been smashed out of the park by some human being. I mean, we have cryptocurrencies. Like a lot of people didn't believe that Bitcoin was ever going to make it, but it's a thing. Trillions of dollars being poured into the investment space. It's a thing. It literally is a thing. At some point, flushing toilets weren't a thing, but they are a thing, and hallelujah, aren't we pleased about those? So what happens? Take it this way, just imagine yourself as an inventor. Okay, you're creating something that hasn't been existed, doesn't exist. Hasn't been invented before. So it has got to be with big imagination, uninhibited with the steps to get there. So that is the success, and it can be anything that you want. Do not be limited by what you rationally think or by anybody else's opinion. This is why you do it alone in your own space, sitting upright with your eyes closed every day. You do it on your own, not with other people, because, you know, this is just you. You're the inventor, you're the Imagineer. And what you do is you pick this event, and the success of the event, the success of your goal, and this event that actually cements that, just as if you were going out to celebrate. So I'm going to give you an example of the goal weight. So that might be going to a shop and pulling on the clothing that this fits your new svelte, strong, supple, vital, amazing figure. Okay, if that's where, or, you know, a muscle tee because you've, you know, grown those muscles and they feel so good to you. So that's the event. And I want you, again, think into the elevated emotions of this event after you've become successful. So how are you feeling? So important. And because this is the way it works, rather than looking at the event like it's out there, be in the energy of the event and almost look back at yourself. Okay, so they were coming up to step 4. This is my favorite bit. Literally, this changes the manifesting realm, because it's not just you being in the energy. And it's very important that you, when you're drawing the picture in your mind, when you're in your awake dreaming state, that you are actually imagining this. But it's really, really important, this next step, because you're going to pick one friend or one foe, somebody who has given you a hard time in the past, or you feel there's good, because they are only a reflection of your conception of yourself. But someone or a relationship that you've been challenged by works even better. And they are going to be saying to you, oh my God, wow, look at you now. Look at you. You have got so many amazing muscles, incredible muscles. You have the most amazing figure. Oh my God. I remember you 2 years ago. Look how wealthy you are. Whatever it is, this friend is with you. And don't put the limit of time there, because time has no place in the imagination. Past, present, future, they all exist together in the moment of your conception. So choose this friend. Friends are good, but I say foe is even better. So if you have experienced criticism through another reflecting thoughts that you've had about yourself back at you, and remember that everything is a conception. The world is a conception of your conception of you. So pick this friend or foe and picture them telling you in this event about your success. Now, that's the critical components. The bit that you add your imagination to is the flavor. Use all of your senses. So I want you to think about what shoes really work. What shoes are you wearing? What clothes are you and your friend wearing? What shoes are your friend wearing? What can you smell in the scene? You might imagine your friend grabbing your hand or hugging you. Are you in a party? Are you just alone? You know, I mean, if it's your soulmate, you might be alone, you know, really celebrating. Where are you in the environment? I do not want you to be looking at yourself in the distance. You really have to be in yourself, celebrating with the words of your friends, echoing what it is that you have done. So dial up the lights. If it's nighttime, I want you to think about the shades of the light. Are you under the starlight? Are you in a restaurant where there's amazing lighting? What can you feel in your shoes? What kind of surface? Are you inside or you're outside? Are you eating anything? Are you drinking anything? Is there music playing? You know, all of these things that make up this event with this friend telling you, maybe holding your hand and saying, oh my God, can't believe it. And you, how are you responding? These are the bits that you are going to add into the step, which I call confirmation. You might even be dancing, you know, I mean, dancing can clear so much and bring so much in because it is such a high vibrational state. Once you've confirmed this, it gets really, really easy because we kind of go back to step 2, but it is about just meditating and just being really present with that one event, with your one friend, going over and over and over the success of your design and painting all the little details, get really vibrant with it. Continue. What noises can you hear? What do you see? What do you smell? What are you tasting? Add little details, but don't go off on detours, just this one event. And if you can, if you want to really 100x this, think of a phrase that sums it all up. This event, this acknowledgement of your friend, this feeling of validation within yourself that this is real. Think of a phrase. I mean, it could be as simple. Gratitude is used by so many masters, by so many practitioners, because gratitude makes it present. It acknowledges that it's present now. It's not something that we're separated from. It is the future. Now it brings the future into the now, because if we are saying we are thankful for it, it's because it exists. And there are so many practitioners that speak about gratitude. And then literally just imagine this event over and over and over. And here's a little tip that I want to add to this, because if you really, really, really need to work fast on this, don't just meditate during the day and first thing in the morning is amazing, but go to bed at night and close your eyes and replay this event, replay your friend, add all the little flavors and all the little spices and all the little ceremonies that you need with this one event, with your one friend telling the same thing, or foe. Remember, foes are good too. Just keep this picture going in your mind with your phrase, which might be, I'm so thankful and grateful. How amazing. Whatever it is, amazing things are happening now. I use that a lot. It really does condense things. Go to bed, go to sleep, because your sleep state is cementing, is really cementing with 6, 7, 8, 9, however long you sleep. It's really programming your subconscious, your imagination, which is your subconscious mind, your right hemisphere. It's really programming in this powerful, powerful, powerful manifestation of what you want. And as I said, my friend, you just have to keep doing this, and you have to hold the faith, and you have to ignore everything else. In reality, that's why I say do it on your own. Don't do it with people. Don't tell people about this, because they're going to think you're crazy, and you're not. You're an Imagineer, you're an innovator, you're an experimenter, you're a creator on the leading edge of thought. Consciousness is everything. You are fusing a new subconscious program, which means in real life, reality, whatever it is, it's going to show up. So if you have any questions about that, you can reach out to me on this channel, or you can reach out. I have links below, and I teach this stuff because I'm really passionate about it, and in my own life I've seen amazing things happen. And I'm not the only one. There are so many super manifestors out there who will tell you that if you follow this process of being with your imagination and placing your powerful emotions into it, that you will benefit. So thank you for listening. If you like it, show me a like. If you think it's shit, don't like it, give me the thumbs down. Happy with that too. Any commentary that helps you, I want to know what the value is to you. And yeah, that's all I have to say, Super Manifestor. Go out and enjoy. Muriora, thank you for listening. Bye, my friend.